What's up, squad? It's Brandon from the Bantu Sun. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, of course, it is election season in the US, which means there is no shortage of content whatsoever. And throwing in this election cycle, it's even more dramatic than prior years. What initially started off as a whole hum of two septuagenarians, what do you call people? When they're like 70 plus, yeah, septuagenarians. When you have two men plus 70 years old going against each other, typical old white man, gray hair U.S. presidential election, what initially started off as a relatively ho hum. Of course, you have the drama in the background with Trump and his felonies accruing and his multiple trials, and suspicions about Joe Biden, of course, and his capacity to perform the role. What has happened now is all of these things have boiled to the surface that were once in the background. Yes, Trump has had a questionable background and has been accused of many things for which he has gone to trial, but he is also seen as a threat to someone of the existing power structure. And this was made prevalent based on the latest assassination attempt on his life, which obviously is still an investigation. Nobody knows what's going on. And even if they did, will they really tell us at this point of the game what's relevant to the American people? Americans want to know, but obviously this thing is under wraps, and whatever they say, it's not going to be what it appears to on the surface. I think that's because a lot of things, and that's the point of the deep state. This is why they call it the deep state. It's deep. You can't see the bottom of it. All you can do really is try to get inferences and insights based on available information. So you have Trump being a character that's going through things, enduring things, surviving assassination attempts, and you have President Biden, which has really revealed himself to the great deterioration of his current state. And as I tell many people, the biggest issue is he doesn't even run the show. And not only does he not run the show, for that position to be so high visibility, everybody around him know he doesn't run the show. And for 4 years, they have perpetrated this person as the leader of the free world. This is extremely concerning, even if you're not even into conspiracy theories, but it shows you to the depth. And this is only revealed because of his deteriorating condition. What if he wasn't deteriorating? Like, how many administrations are there where the president is absolutely irrelevant? And maybe that's Trump's great threat, is that he may be a president that wants to make his own decisions. Dare I say, dare I say. And I think that is really what the true danger is. When I look at their cabinet, when I look at their background, when I look at Trump's prior term, Trump to me isn't his biggest threat as some will want him to seem. And he just verified that with his latest appointment of J.D. Vance, who's typical middle of the stream, basically standard stock Republican of the year 2024. I don't find anything about him that revolutionary. Only, and he coming straight from the establishment. He was even a never Trumper. So this is why I say, because although Trump talks a big game and heavy rhetoric, I do think he's a person that works within the lines. And I don't think he's this great revolutionary leader, as some would say. Only revolutionary aspect about him is I think that, as Bill Parcells once said in the NFL, if I buy the groceries, if I'm going to cook the meal, I want to buy the groceries. And I think Trump is saying, look, I'm going to cook the meal. I'm going to lead America. I want to do it my way. But I think he wants to do it to achieve the same goals. Contrast that with Biden. We already know Biden is that, and he's just more palatable. And I hate to use the word compromise, but he's more embedded into the structure. And that's seen by his ability to drop out the race now. People are saying, they're trying to spin it. oh, Biden, he's dropping out the race because he's this great patriot and he loves to get the hell out. What is that? Never. The oxygen at this level is really thin. That's not how they operate. This is a different world than how a regular Joe Smo operates. When you get this high up, you are indebted to the system because the system got you to that point. It endowed you, it empowered you, and therefore you're indebted to it. You are part of the very structure that it is, that structure that propels you. By definition, you can't be revolutionary because if you were revolutionary, how did you succeed within the system? So what Biden has done is whoever put him in his position, which everybody know he was put in his position, that's what politicians are. Politicians are the great center force between the people with power that run things, justifiably so. They put the system together. They put managers in charge that can run things, aka politicians. And what those politicians' jobs is the same job of a CEO or HR manager at a company. They manage the demography. They manage the populace. The HR team, the CEO, all they're doing is saying the people in charge saying, look, we want this system to keep going. And the only way it's going to keep growing if we have control. So they put these people in place to manage the population. The politicians aren't there to control the elites. They're there to manage you as a citizen. And that's seen over and over and over again. That's the true purpose. Because power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. I've rarely seen this contradiction. Like I've rarely seen a leader go completely in contradiction to his own people. They are a leader is a consequence of a formula between the elite and the culture of any place. And it's hard to have a revolutionary leader if you don't have a revolutionary culture. So basically what we're saying is we get the president that we deserve. So Biden has now said he's want to step down, and obviously he has nowhere to go. He has to put Kamala Harris, his VP from the senator out of California, he has to put her in place. One, California is the spot for Democrats. California is the spot for Republicans. It's too much moolah in that state for it to go unnoticed. California is a massive economy, the wealthiest economy in the United States of the 50 states. And it's a lot of money coming out of that place from Silicon Valley, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It takes up a massive part of the West Coast. There's only 3 states. California consumes most of the coastline. It's our gateway to Asia. It's a very powerful and influential state. So you gotta, at minimum, always recognize California. And Kamala's going to come from that California family. So them being well represented is going to keep California motivated. So you can't just get rid of her. She's VP. She's next in line if something was to happen where the president needs to be replaced on the spot. She's in that role to fulfill his presidential duties, heaven forbid, whatever. But that's how the system works. So on top of that, everybody knows that African American women or Black women have been a major loyal supporters of the Democratic Party. And some people say that's the reason why Kamala had received the vice president spot. Because you can't say it's based on her accomplishments because she's dropped out early. I don't think she made it past New Hampshire, which is the second or third primary. I think she did Iowa, New Hampshire. She had to drop out when she ran for president. But Biden also wasn't that successful. But Biden stayed in and he won the Democratic election. Kamala was appointed as VP. Supposedly, this representation made a lot of people happy, or shut them up, what have you. And now he's got to step down because the screw's been put to him. It's not his decision. It was never his decision. They told him when to get in. He got in. Remember, he came in late when he ran for president. And now they tell him to get out. Now he got to get out. So the question is, who do they think can beat Trump? Or is it not who can beat Trump, but how can they manage the situation? Because Trump supporters seem so influential. Like, this is a guy that sees 80 million votes and lose. So he's a very influential person. So Democrats are hustling around trying to figure out how they want to play this with 100 days left to the November election. But it's a lot of strategy going on. But I think this fundamentally goes back to the power structure. It's elections. Unless you're appointing these politicians, like beware of your faith in these politicians. So much more goes into the leadership of a nation, and primarily, I would say culture. Now, great leaders can steer culture. Like that is a proven fact. But which one of these are a revolutionary culture changer? Like Trump whole slogan is not "I got something new and better" or let's scale up. He's like, let's make America great again, MAGA. Like again, like he wants to um, recapture a prior time as opposed to building something new. So that's not revolutionary at all. And then of course you have whoever this marionette, the next marionette doll that's going to be in place for the Democratic side. So all we can do right now is really watch the debates, and what you can do is empower yourself. I'm a big believer that individual empowerment is everything, and the more you can do for yourself, the less you look for favor of others to do for you. Now that is revolutionary. That's why we talk about geopolitics. That's why we talk about understanding the world, understanding the fundamental metrics of power and where they rest. So I love to hear your thoughts. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Until next time, take care. Bantu out.